जगह ही नहीं है।
मेरे को उधर गया है। मैं अभी दिन ही ज्वाइन किया।
हाँ कितना है वो?
3 महीना हो गया।
3 महीना?
मैं पहले खारघर में अभी आया।
हाँ खारघर में दिखे थे तुम मेरे को क्या?
हाँ
हाँ कितना सैलरी में?
3 महीना हो गया मेरे को।
सैलरी कितना होगा देखो। Someone left the dishes today. Please करिए। पकड़िए है। सारा मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है। तुम्हारी क्लास में क्या है? हमारे क्लास में तो ये लोग क्या है? फिजिक्स को क्या है? इसमें मैथ्स क्यों है? तो क्या बस में? अरे इसमें तो कल का मैथ भी है। दोनों इसमें प्रार्थना बाबू कौन है? प्रार्थना कौन है करीना? एक लड़की ना कुछ लड़की अच्छा पढ़ता है। लास्ट टाइम मेरी क्लास में थी। मैं कर दिया। तो जैसे मेरे बारे में आती है कौन? कोई प्रार्थना दिया कर दिया वो भी है आज प्रार्थना। हाँ उसका नाम तुम लास्ट ईयर यूटी में तो कोई ट्यूशन ही नहीं था लास्ट ईयर। नहीं मैं लास्ट ईयर ट्यूशन नहीं था। मेरा सबके साथ होता है ना? मैं 6 घंटे का बिजनेस कर सकती हूँ। हाँ वो होता है अच्छे से। अभी ट्यूशन नहीं है तो अभी ट्यूशन में क्या है? ट्यूशन में पढ़ाता है अच्छी बात है लेकिन फिर क्या मिलता है और थक जाता है और उसमें से सेल्फ स्टडी करने के लिए सुबह ही उठना पड़ता है और सुबह उठ सकते हैं लेकिन मोटिवेशन मतलब कोई रीजन ही नहीं उठने का। अभी एग्जाम्स होने हैं तो फिर मेरी बॉडी उठती है अगर प्रेशर में हो तभी हाँ तभी तभी तो मैं अलार्म नहीं लगाता तो तभी भी मुझे 4 बजे तुम भी 4 बजे उठते हो? मैं 4 बजे इस हर दिन नहीं एग्जाम के टाइम मेरा ना एक साल तक कितना अच्छा रहता था बिना कोई ट्यूशन। मुझे ट्यूशन और अच्छा ट्यूशन अच्छा मुझे ट्यूशन ओरिजिनली सिर्फ मैथ्स की वजह से चाहिए था लेकिन अभी मैथ्स में तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है हिंदी में प्रॉब्लम है इतने मात्रा में मेरे जाते हैं हिंदी में मार्क्स आता है इतना प्रॉब्लम होता है लास्ट में भी कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं था क्यों इतनी स्ट्रिक्ट चेकिंग नहीं थी लेकिन अभी बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट चेकिंग करते हैं ना तो मेरे मैथ्स में कुछ इतना जाते नहीं है मैथ्स में मिलता है बस हिंदी में नहीं मिलता बाकी सारे सब्जेक्ट मिलते हैं मुझे ना साइंस में चाहिए होता मैंने कॉमर्स का लगा के भी वेस्ट किया है कॉमर्स इजी है ना वैसे तो इजी है लेकिन थियरी का पार्ट जो रहता है ना डायग्रामेटिक्स वो थोड़ा हार्ड रहता है समझने का तुम्हारे फिजिक्स देखो मेरा तो मुझे हमारा फिजिक्स है जल्दी नहीं है मुझे देखो मेरा फेवरेट केमिस्ट्री है फिर बायोलॉजी है फिर फिजिक्स पसंद नहीं है मुझे तो साइंस ही नहीं है ना हां वही तो करके इन आपने बस तुम्हें इतना ही तो ऐसा होता है पेपर में मैं फोटो लेके फेंकूंगा कौन सा वो बता ना अबे तू किसके साथ कॉल करती है वो भाई किसी और से दूंगा अरे मैं नहीं कहती फोन मेरे पास नहीं रहता मम्मी के पास है तो मम्मी खाना चाहिए वाला यार 400 लेटर चुका जी पर देखो अच्छा है वो सारा क्या हाय देखो ये वाला मेरे का table of his cascading flows while he chose it and why did he not choose the other basket? इसका table का
हिमाचल दे देना
नहीं मैं है पुराना वो मैंने आपको
सामने तो बोला
तूने बोला why the Sunny choose the good अरे वो table अब आपने बना लास्ट में आपने डिस्कस नहीं किया ये चीज मुझे प्रिया बोली आपने नहीं
ऐसे लिखा दोनों
दोनों नहीं एक ही बात तू भी ले ला 7 तो दोनों 6 नहीं समझा एटस ले ला ऊपर 6 नहीं समझा ना
7 तो
मैंने 6 द्वारा ही लिखा कितने वर्ड्स 300 से ज्यादा है 6 आपसे 330 का पहले ये व्हाट दैट्स फाइव वन एंटोनियो का क्या मैंने लिखा पेंसिल शॉर्टिकल एस्पेक्ट ये कौन सा क्वेश्चन था इस समझो ना क्या ये गावरा था ना
वैसे कि
एक जीरा ये वाला ना व्हाट इज शैडो फॉर एंटोनियो शैडो फूल ना ये एक्सट्रैक्ट के हिसाब से शैडो फॉर एंटोनियो फूल अरे नहीं वो फूल लाइक बढ़िया नहीं है इतने लाइंस के बीच में से लिखा गया है तो फिर उसमें लिखा था हां
जो बराबर में होता है
तो एक्स्ट्रा के बीच में तो फूल बोला तो वही लिख रहा है 300 तक फूल भी आ सकता है
क्वेश्चन लिखा जल्दी लिखा
तू भी ऐसे लिखा एक का ले सकता है सेकंड का नंबर समझना मैं सेकंड नहीं किया मैं क्या कर रही हूं आई चलो खुद ही कैसे ले
7
उसको ये नहीं कर सकता कोई नहीं दोनों ना क्वेश्चन का ये देख
क्वेश्चन
बहुत ज्यादा है
तू चेक कर
मेरा क्वेश्चन आंसर क्वेश्चन आंसर सभी हेडिंग का पूरा सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा
तो बोलना है कैसे भी क्या
आंसर तो मैंने किया हुआ कौन सा एरिया कुछ भी शॉर्ट लिखना था कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं दिखाया और मैं लिखा ये वाला थर्ड वाला एग्जाम में भी आपने निकाल मेरा एक बार ना मेरा एक आंसर पर पूरा कंफ्यूज मेरा एक बार ऐसे क्वेश्चन आता है कि पोलिट्री ऐसे हमारे को उसमें मैं पूरा 2 पेजेस लिखा है डिस्क्रिप्टिव I don't know what 8 marks I think it's 8 marks तो फिर
Good evening. Do we have to check any homework today? Tell me. Anyone joining us online? What homework do we have to check?
On page number 10, question 637 and 10.
Okay. Read question number 6. Read page question number 6. Page number 10, question number 6.
The commercialization of public school has adversely affected the quality of education. Give reason to prove your point for and against it.
How many words we have to write?
350 to 400.
Who all have done this? How many children have done it? My God. 3. You have done or not done? I can't make out whether your hand is raised or not raised. You done? So 4 children have done. Count the number of words and tell me.
Mine is like 404.
Good. That's good. 405 is a good word.
Not 4.
Why have you not done number of time?
I didn't understand the issue.
You
No,
done
it is the
homework?
7th one.
Not the 6th one.
No. The argumentative essay, I tried the descriptive one.
when both have to be done. The idea is to do one of each type. Yes, ma'am. 6 times on that. Topic अच्छा नहीं मिला. You?
I did 7.
How do you like? Time? You got it. Some X-ray and all done that day. Anything?
No,
Thank God. Was thinking about you. You, Mister?
Yes, I missed last year.
You missed the last class. Has everyone signed? You, Mister?
I didn't want the question.
Didn't get the question. What is the question? Read it.
The commercialization of public school has adversely affected the quality of education. He resulted in the cost.
Commercialization of public school means what? Once upon a time, there were only schools like which schools we have over here, which are government schools. You come across some schools where the windows are all broken and the girls are wearing this brown color uniform and the boys are wearing brown shorts. And generally the girls will be wearing payal also, bindi also, earrings also, bangles also. Those schools are government schools. Those were the only kind of schools that our country had. Then there were Britishers who came in and had these convent schools, only girls' schools, only boys' schools. We had these convent schools, St. Mary's, Father Agnes, Father Jesus Convent, all that. Then there was a commercialization of school that took place. Which school are you in? Podar. Podar, is it a government school? Is the British government started school? No. It's a group of Gujjubhais, Mumbai Gujjubhais, who got together and said, कुछ business करવું છે. શું business કરાય? મસ્ત profit જોઈએ છે. So what business they did? Let's start a school. We will have CBSE board also, state board also, ICSE also, IGCSE also. They have one branch in Santa Cruz and they have one branch now in Nerul. Now the school in Santa Cruz was so power packed that the government objected. You cannot have this many number of people and that to children in this much small a place. You need to expand. तो अब उसको बाजू की बिल्डिंग तो नहीं मिल रही थी कि वो स्कूल को एक्सपैंड कर लेता. So he has bought around 12 buildings across Santa Cruz. 12 buildings, but they are all away from each other. One is going to be only first and second standard, full building. One is going to be only third and fourth standard. One is going to be fifth and sixth standard, like this. This is Podar. What is this? This is commercialization of school. The people who are running Podar school are running it like a business. They give facilities to the students. They give good pay packages to the teachers so that the parents should feel, Maro dikro ayu avse, though it is big, it is prestigious. Same is the case with so many other schools. APJ is this only. It's commercialization. Which is your school? 7 days that only. Yours? Is that only? One Mr. Sadhu Aswani said, business khape, Sindhi person. And he started school.
17.
सब गुज्जू भाई सिंधी भाई इधर पैसा कमा रहे तुम लोगों से. What is it? It's a school. It's a commercialization. Question समझा? Okay. होमवर्क के लिए करना है. So 404 words. How many words? 230. Still counting. So word limit not met. Anyway, you will not get full marks.
How it affected the
Quality of
education?
better education was imparted. No, beta. What is happening in the government schools?
Adversely affected the quality.
Oh, how did it adversely affect? Okay. So what is happening in the government schools, the public schools? Their concentration was not in trying to impress the students. or the parents. Somewhere the school does not want to displease the parents because the owner of the school is looking at a monetary gain and profit through teaching of students, which is not happening in government schools. Their only motive is to teach. So that's why you will notice that all the toppers of the boards, where it is not written which school you belong to, they don't belong to these schools. Never in the history has there been a CBSE topper from 7 days or Koda or what was the third school? Sadhu Aswani. No, because the whole attitude is different. The teachers who are teaching cannot displease the students. The students have a feedback form on the teachers. If I have to correct you, I cannot be bothered about what are you going to tick in the box about me. Then how can I correct you? To correct you, it takes a little bit of poka and pity, and not necessarily that I have to beat you is what I mean. I have to correct you. If I am more bound by the feedback that you're going to give me and what the parent is going to say about me, then as a teacher, somewhere I am withholding. If that was not the case, which is not the case in public schools, I'm not bothered about your fees. You're not paying a big fat fees at all. You are here for education. I am doing you a favor. Then in that case, I have super authority. And then the job gets done very well. You know? Because अभी मैंने कितना डांटा इसको, भाई क्यों नहीं किया होमवर्क, इतना ही. Otherwise, अच्छे से शाउटिंग मिलता था, और जब अच्छे से शाउटिंग मिलता था नेक्स्ट टाइम से होमवर्क होता था. तो क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन एडवर्सली इफेक्ट हुई कि नहीं? अगर ये रो के घर जाएगा और इसकी मम्मी ने इसको यहाँ से विड्रॉ कर लिया, भाई मेरे पे तो क्वेश्चन उठ जाएगा ना कि आपने स्टूडेंट को नाराज कर दिया. आप उतना ही पढ़ाइए, बच्चे को कंफर्टेबल रखिए, पेरेंट्स को कंफर्टेबल रखिए. तो एजुकेशन तो एडवर्सली इफेक्ट हो रहा है ना. दैट इज द टॉपिक. गेटिंग इट? सो 404 words. Generally you are the one reading the homework ना. बाकी के जन नेक्स्ट टाइम जब ऐसे मिलेगा, how many topics are there in all? We have only 12 topics to cater. We are already question 7. So 50% of what essay practice you can get is already over. अभी 50% ही बाकी है. Do the homework. After writing, check how many words you have written. Meet the word limit. ठीक है? Read बेटा.
Yes, I agree that commercialization of public schools has adversely affected the quality of education. Commercialization is defined as the process by which a product is introduced in the general market. Commercialization of education, when the primacy given to the humanities decreases and the attention to the demand of students increases. Education thus moves toward being business oriented. Nowadays, public schools have been highly commercialized. In public schools, there are 3 kinds of students: high society students, rich, working class students, middle class, and lower class individuals. Because of the commercialization of the schooling framework, the destitute individuals and the general public students cannot get an option to education because of very high prices. Commercialization also leads to emphasis on marks. Rather than focusing on the development of children, students are forced to focus on that only on academics and growing their marks. Prices for education in public school has increased a lot due to commercialization, and students of lower classes and working classes are not able to afford proper education, which directly affects their marks. The commercialization of public school is highly profit oriented. It transforms the education sector into a business sector. Commercialization of education makes education very costly. With the advent of commercialization, Students are seen merely as consumers, as majority of the students in public schools are from the working class and below. They are not able to cope up with the increasing inflation and increasing public school fees. The commercialization of public schools has led to students developing a materialistic outlook. The students then tend to develop a selfish attitude rather than focusing on the development of the country. The impact of commercialization of public schools is also related with the overburden of the teachers. For the commercial benefit in public schools, they are pressurized, the teachers are pressurized and overburdened. The schools pressurize the teacher and overburden them with work for the whole day. They are bound to do the activities provided by the authorities. They are busy taking classes, examinations, remedial classes, extra classes, projects, and checking copies. They don't have time and are busy every minute. They are given very less salary in comparison to the work they do. Therefore, let it be commercialization or the education of public schools. Everything should be in equilibrium and in an algorithm. In order to create a society that is balanced with nature, we need a unique form of education that emerges from the depth of nature.
Very well written. You took your points from somewhere?
Our blog post.
Okay. So we are taking now question number 7. Can you read it, please?
Rivers and lakes are always interesting and commercially important to people who live near them. Describe some of the ways in which people living close to a lake or a river use it to their advantage, commercially and also for relaxation and amusement all through the year.
Very good. How many have done question number 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Count the number of words and tell me.
460.
Very good. But we actually don't want to go beyond 412. 5 words, 7 words, 12 words. Surplus, we can go. We don't want to go more than that. Okay? Henceforth, literally keep it down. You will require to make a draft. You will require to finish one paragraph, count the number of words, accordingly plan कि मुझे आगे जो लिखना है उसको कितना elaborate करना है या cut short रखना है. You have to keep counting the words side by side. तो उसमें क्या है, paragraph 1 खत्म हुआ तो आपने लिख दिया 57 words. So you know you've gone beyond 50 words. We want to keep an average of 50 words per paragraph. So next paragraph जो है वो 42 words का आना चाहिए. तब ना you are meeting the target. And finally it should be 402, 405, 407, 412 max. Okay, we want to go 2, 5, 7, 12 words surplus. Clear? Okay. How many words?
From 351.
Short.
220.
Grossly short. Who else?
321.
Short.
270.
402 किधर है, 270 किधर है बेटा? चलो, so who is the closest? You? 416. चलो, start बेटा.
Lakes. Lakes and rivers are very important. They play an important role not only in humans' life but also in lives of animals. Lakes and rivers helps in climatic conditions and
Lakes and rivers helps. Subject verb agreement has gone wrong. What should it be? Lakes and rivers as a subject is singular or plural? Singular. Plural. So your verb will be singular or plural? What is the rule? Have you done subject verb agreement as a topic? Okay. Read that sentence.
lakes and river
Lakes and river help.
help in climatic condition and also in commercial way. Without lakes and rivers, our life will be hard and difficult.
Okay, life is never hard. A sum is never hard. Hard and soft. Difficult and easy. A child is never big and small. Your brother is never big or small. It is elder or younger. Can you make a note of this somewhere? When teacher reads things like this in your essay, then she pre-decides that I will not give this child more than 7 out of 10 because her or his English is not at that level. So never to call life hard.
According to Indian methodology, there are five it is a Hindi word.
Okay.
There are five Panchama Bhutas, that is five physical elements like fire, air, water, earth, and space, which suggests that water is one of the most important requirements for ecology to exist on earth. In prehistoric time, all the civilizations were built near the rivers and lakes, and they flourished where water was abundant on earth. Water is used in all domestic use by people like drinking, washing, clothes, cooking, etc. Without the fresh water, which is primarily obtained from river and lakes, life on earth will be impossible. Therefore, there is appeal from all the nations in the world to preserve and take care of the rivers and lakes near us, so we can also contribute in climatic change. River and lakes are also required for commercially use by the mankind. It is always seen that major industries are set up near the water bodies, like river and lakes, as water is required abundantly for the functioning of industrial plants. Other major use of rivers and lakes are that water is required for agricultural purpose. India is an agricultural country. Because of ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, India has stepped in and is the major exporter of wheat and other food grains to many countries around the globe. This is possible because India is blessed with many rivers and lakes. Lastly, I like to mention one of the commercial use of rivers in India, that is fish horticulture, wherein the fishes are cultivated in river lakes and then they are grown in full size. They are exported in various countries. River and lakes are also used by many people for relaxation and amusement. Nowadays, most of the people plan weekend holiday or picnic to the resorts which are mostly located near rivers and lakes. These resorts have long list of activities which attracts people to relax and have fun. This includes building camps and tents near the river,
This includes
boating, rafting, enjoying houseboats, and sky watching near the river. In all these activities, people not only spend time in fun but also are relaxed from their hectic work schedules. Thus, river plays important part in relaxation and amusement of the mankind.
very good. Amusement of mankind, not the mankind. So we are taking question number 8 for homework. Now my suggestion is either MOV or the blue bead or punctuation, reported speech, subject verb agreement. Tell me one of these topics. Take it up. One more homework? Tell me. MOV homework. Take it up. Oh, because that passage had overlap. Yes. Very easy it is. I've given very simple questions. First question. How many have not done the MOV homework? Please raise your hands. Everyone has done it? Very good. First question. No, you've done enough reading today. You read. First question. Who is? Who is? Gowler. Who is a gowler? Answer.
The Gowler mentioned by Sherlock actually what we call the jailer. Sherlock charges the Gowler with keeping an eye on his visitor.
Okay. Anyone with a different answer? Similar? Okay. Question 2, beta.
What does Sherlock call Anthony?
Okay, what is the answer?
Shylock or Antonio
Shylock call Antonio or Shylock calls Antonio?
calls.
Bus, you'd stop at this much. You'll get full marks for this. Even if it's a 1 mark question. इतना लिखने से 1 mark मिलेगा क्या बोर्ड एग्जाम में? तो फिर ऐसा आंसर क्यों लिख रहे हो बता? What have you written?
Shylock calls Antonio a fool who lends money free of interest.
Very good. कुछ तो ऐड करना है. Next question. No, you have read today. You have read.
From this answer, I have written that Shylock was pleased to hear about the loss of Antonio's ships. He calls him a fool, spendthrift, prodigal, and a beggar. He used to come smiling, so self-satisfied and happy.
आंसर फिर टीचर इसको 1 मार्क देगी तो इसको 1 मार्क कैसे देगी टीचर? बोलती नहीं कि दूसरे बच्चों ने तो बहुत डिटेल्स लिखा है, ये बच्चे ने तो इतना ही लिखा है, इसको हाफ मार्क दो. टीचर को तो कंपैरिजन मिलता है ना. शी इज करेक्टिंग 100 पेपर्स. करेक्ट. योर टीचर इन स्कूल इटसेल्फ इज टीचिंग at least 2 divisions, at least. तो 100 बच्चे हो जाते हैं. ठीक है, तो दैट इज हर पैरामीटर ऑफ कंपैरिजन कि बच्चों ने ये लिखा है, तो मुझे किसको 1 देना है, किसको हाफ देना है, किसको 0 देना है. सो आपके आंसर को 0 नहीं मिलेगा बिकॉज द आंसर इज राइट. जनरली इंग्लिश में आंसर्स राइट ही होते हैं. कोई रॉन्ग आंसर्स नहीं लिखता है कि पोर्शिया वाज एक्चुअली एंटोनियोस गर्लफ्रेंड. यू नो दे गिव द राइट आंसर, बट देन giving the right answer but limiting it only to that much makes every answer become half. So you get how much out of, you have what, 40 marks paper now, 50 marks paper, so your marks become 25. ऐसे हो जाता है. Even after giving all correct answers, so you have to give some detail. ऐसा मत भी लिखो, ऐसा तो लिख ही सकते हो, है ना. Next question, you read.
What does Shylock mean by saying that he will have his bonds? Shylock hates Antonio and is determined to have his bond as Antonio will owe money to him and the penalty for not paying back the loan is a pound of flesh from any part of his body, which Shylock chooses. Therefore, Shylock wants to clean his revenge and his hatred towards Antonio by killing him.
Very good. Now, blue bead, page number. Your teachers have told you how much portion is deleted and how much portion you have. What is the portion that you have? How many chapters? How many chapters do you have for your board exam?
4. Board exam. 8.
8? Teachers have not informed you? Okay. Then I don't want to be the one that tells you.
Last 5 chapters.
Yes, and poems.
Last
5 chapters, 5 poems is your board exam syllabus. We teachers among ourselves have been discussing the board has made some mistake. It cannot be 5 chapters, 5 poems. Because 2 years ago it was 10 chapters, 10 poems along with full MOV. So आपका जब lockdown नहीं है, why 5 chapters, 5 poems? So we are expecting some notice to come from them. Oh, we made a mistake. Actually, it is 8 chapters, 8 poems. So be mentally prepared for that. Okay. The blue bead, page number 92. Take a silent read of the chapter. The plot of the story as such is not much, but the vivid description by the author is too much. And it is almost like a WhatsApp group which has too many messages coming in. Hi, how are you? Good morning. What a pleasant this, that. तो उसमें जो एक important message होता है वो छूट जाता है. Because इतना सारा flooding of messages हो रहा है, you know. So it is a chapter like this. There is lot of information about this and that and getting into such elaborate descriptions कि the main story कहीं ना कहीं miss out हो जाती है. So this chapter is best read silently to yourself first. Otherwise ऐसा लगता है कि actually story क्या है? क्या उसमें? You know. So read the chapter to yourself. Keep underlining the words that you find difficult. There are many words. And then we will dissect the chapter. Again, no textbook. भाई तो इंग्लिश की टेक्स्ट बुक रखी दे बैग में, डेली लेकर आ। 9 रुपए की टेक्स्ट बुक है, बाय वन एक्स्ट्रा टेक्स्ट बुक फॉर योर ट्यूशन बैग। चलो, read silently, keep underlining the difficult words. Rudresh and Pratna have stopped coming at all, Joanna? Rudresh and Pratna?
Pratna does not come, but then Rudresh comes.
Okay.
For some reason, he didn't come.
Acha, Rudresh didn't come. Not even online Pratna is not coming at all.
No.
Pratna is not coming for any subject. Exactly what I told you. The story gets lost. I mean, she's telling about the bazaar, she's telling about the bridal ladies and everything, and the grass cutting. So, okay, so now what? So, read. That's why, so that's why I said it is very important to silently read this chapter once first. Let's read about the author on page number 92. That will reveal a lot why this chapter is like this. Who has not read today? Read better.
Muller was a well-known English novelist and non-fiction writer.
What is the meaning of non-fiction?
Imaginary, not imaginary.
Not imaginary. Not imaginary. She's writing about reality. Okay.
Famous for her description of life in India during the early 20th century. Her father
Early 20th century means which years approximately? Give me an idea. 19?
1900 to 1950.
This is the early 20th century. एक साल बाद में चलता है 20th बोलने से 1901 1902 वो जो years थे before I was born, before you were born, so those years how India was, she is depicting that in her stories. What you just read, that is how India was in 1902 1905. India was like that. The tribal ladies, the pictures, the ghada, the cutting of the grass, the beads, the brown color sari, the very little food. That's why one chapati being split into two so that it, either they would smear the malai of milk and give to the kids, or they would smear mirchi and give it to the kids. They didn't have bhaji and dal and all. India was a poor country, like perhaps South Africa is today. वो कौन है साउथ अफ्रीका का? वो और उसकी सिस्टर सिंग करते हैं किली पॉल. When you see Killy Paul, see the background. He's actually in a jungle, man. He's actually in a jungle. It's a desert. एक single पेड़ होता है, So India was like that. How many years ago now this is? We are 2022. So this is 122 years ago. 122 years ago. Read further.
Her father was a forest officer in India, and her early childhood was spent traveling through the Indian forest, often on elephant back.
So how come she's a Britisher but she's writing about India? Because her father was posted as a forest officer in India. So she was living, a forest officer lives in the forest. He's given a nice protected bungalow. He lives there in the forest and he has to take care of the jungle. So that's how she used to go on elephant rides very often through the jungle. So she was not living in one of the cities of India. She was living in the rural part of India, inside the jungle. So there were only tribal people. In 1901, 1902, the city of Mumbai had buildings. VT station was built in 1800s. But the rural India was like this. Getting clarity? Read further.
She drew inspiration for her writing from these early experiences. In The Blue Leaf, Burke paints a vivid graphic picture, rich in detail, of an exciting jungle adventure and encounter between Celia, a 12-year-old girl, and a crocodile.
This line, the first three lines, you can actually learn it by heart and use it for any answer. You can use it for all answers. Because you're giving like a gist, a synopsis of the story. That it is an adventure of a wild encounter between a 12-year-old girl, Sibia, and a crocodile. Read further.
As an everyday event, Burke makes skillful use of suspense and detailed visual images that make the story come alive for the reader. The story ends on a note of dramatic irony when Celia exclaims something vivid. I found a bluebill for my necklace.
Let me explain this dramatic irony to you. Okay. So the girl has met a crocodile, matlab she happened to be there. The other ladies were not there. The crocodile had caught hold of one of the tribal ladies' leg. And how Sibia took a hay fork, because she has two tools, sickle and hay fork. This is a sickle. This is a sickle, whereas this is a hay fork. Do you understand this type of an instrument? Which you use to collect the dry leaves. This is a hay fork. So with this, she has poked one of this is called prong. She has poked the prong in the eye of the crocodile so that the crocodile will leave the lady. Okay. तो ये सब करने में उसको लेट हो गया. So when she reached home, her mother had already set out in the jungle क्योंकि अंधेरा होने लगा था. कि Sibya, where were you? I got worried for you. Something happened or what? She said, yeah, something happened. When she did all this, the lady was taken away by the tribal and the crocodile of course ran away and it's going to die. But उसको पानी में वो same चमकता हुआ blue bead दिखा which she had seen in the morning while she was cutting the grass. वो एक blue color का कांच का piece चमक रहा था. So she took that and she was very happy about that. So when her mother is shouting at her and saying, where were you? I got so scared. Something happened. I thought something happened. She said, yeah, something did. Mother said, what? See, I found a blue bead. Not crocodile, hay fork going into the eye of the crocodile, that lady's leg and all that. No. Blue bead. बच्चों का दिमाग ऐसा होता है. That is what is exciting for them, you know. So that is called dramatic irony. The reader expected Sibya to say, yes, something happened to crocodile. But she said, the blue bead, see what I found. So that is dramatic irony. Something unexpected as a climax of the story. Okay? I think it's break time. No, everybody was late. Read further, finish reading, then I'll come back and read loud. How many have finished reading the chapter? Nobody? If you have finished reading the chapter, then take out your volume, start filling in the vocabulary words. Whatever you know, you fill, what you don't know, you leave. Fatafat read the underline the finish the chapter. After the break, I want to start the chapter. The hay fork is looking prettier on the screen rather than the board. Isn't it? But isn't it? It's looking very nice there. यहाँ पर ऐसा कुछ गंदा सा लग रहा है, वहाँ अच्छा लग रहा है. Feeling cold, Joanna?
No, just very.
So let's take the break, children, then I'll come back and start the chapter.
The question है question है I make this statement. This is release from our statistics. But
यार किसी के पास ट्राई करना नहीं पता नहीं है मैंने इतना पता है मैं घर पे आई तब से मुझे मैसेजेस आ रही है ये डाल दो ये कर दो मेरे पास भी नहीं खाना खा रही मेरा जब मैं तुझे मैसेज कर रही थी ना उस वक्त भी मैंने खाना नहीं खाया उसके बाद मैंने खाया ना पापा ना बड़ा तुम बड़ा नहीं करा I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm ये दूसरा ना मेहंदी भी अच्छी है प्लीज फर्स्ट वाला आप चाहिए ना पापा का आप जी फुल कोई लॉक नंबर एक अच्छे ना अरे काही ऑफर करत ना आज मैंने काय झाला एक हाऊस टाकणार आहे मी रुपीची हाऊस टाकते ठीक आहे मी माझ्या हाऊसला बघते माझ्या हाऊसला झालं मी माझ्या हाऊसला बघते माझ्या हाऊसला झाला आमचा डान्स खूप सेट झाला मस्त करत आता मी हाऊस जे होतं सकाळी त्यांचा आज ऑडिटोरियममध्ये प्रिन्सीने बघितलं आता प्रिन्सिपल मॅम बघते चेहरेमध्ये तर रांगा आवडला बोलते स्टोरी लाईन नाहीये गाणं बरोबर नाहीये आणि स्टेप्स चांगले नाही मॅम विचारते स्टेप्स कोणी केले आहेत की असे कसे स्टेप्स आता तिथे हाऊस कॅप्टन होती की सकाळी 4 वाजता उठायची स्टेप्स करायची सगळं करायची तिच्या समोर तिला बोलले की हे असे पाहिजे स्टेप्स तिला जमणार तर मग ती येताना रडत होती त्याला सगळं स्केच करायला आता
Shall we start?
Read the first paragraph. Why are they giggling? What's happening?
From deep water came the crocodile. Out of black water, curved with whirlpools, and into the thrill of gold shallows by stepping stones. He was twice the length of a tall man, and inside him, among his stones, which he had swallowed to aid digestion, rolled a silver bracelet.
Okay. Any words up till here not understood, please ask. Thrill of gold shallows, edge of the rivers. Spinning water, जिसको हम बोलते हैं भंवर.
What's the length of a tall man?
So a tall man is like 6.5 feet, 7 feet. So he's like 13 feet, 14 feet. The length of the crocodile. It's a jungle crocodile. It's not a zoo crocodile. Done?
Yes.
Continue, beta.
Timber was being floated down this great Indian river from forests further up, and there were sleepers lying stuck around the stones until someone came to dislodge them and send them on their way, or until flood lifted them and jostled them along. The crocodile had no need to hide himself. He came to rest in the glassy shallows among logs and balanced there on tiptoe on the rippled sand, with only his raised eye out of the water and raised nostrils, breathing the clean, sunny air.
Okay, any doubts up to here?
Sleepers.
Sleepers are logs of wood that have been cut, and now instead of putting them into a truck and then the truck will take them down to the village, they are put in the river. You saw it in the movie Pushpa.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So those are sleepers.
Ma'am, and
Pushed.
Ma'am, dislodge.
कि कोई चीज अटकी हुई है, you have dislodged it. You have moved it so that now it's not stuck. Now it's free. To dislodge, to free.
Ma'am, can you write it as forcibly removing something?
Removing something. Okay.
Because this is what we have been told.
Okay.
Ma'am, and also balanced there on tiptoe on the ripple sand. When that crocodile stands out, you have never seen. The head of the crocodile peeks out, but he stands and he walks in the water. Walks on the tiptoe.
Listen, Joanna. The crocodile had no need to hide himself. He came to rest in the glassy shallows, the ends of the rivers, where the water is very thin. He's there. Among logs, the logs of woods are there. And balanced there on tiptoe on the rippled sand, with only his eyes raised out of the water. So he's there in the water, only his eyes are visible. You don't see the entire crocodile floating on the surface like a duck. Tiptoed is simply because he's in a hushed way. He's not announcing or not very visible in the water. Tiptoe is only for that, like he's silent. You tiptoe in a baby's room. Shall we continue?
Around his broad, sparkling water traveled between cliffs and grass and forested hills. The jungle track came out of scrub each side and down to the sun-whitened stepping stones, on which a little flycatcher was flirting and trilling along.
Flycatcher is the name of an insect.
The mugger crocodile, blackish brown above and yellow white under, lay motionless, able to wait forever till full day. This antediluvian saurian is
the scientific name of the crocodile.
This prehistoric
Like the periwinkle is called a Vinca rosacea in botany, like that. Wait, Beta, let them finish writing. Okay.
This prehistoric juggernaut, ferocious and formidable, a vast force in the water, propelled by the unimaginable and irresistible power of the huge tail, lay lapped by ripples, a throb in his throat. His mouth, running almost the whole length of his head, was closed and fixed in that evil bony smile. And where the yellow underside came up to it, it was tinged with green.
Any doubts here?
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut is a species of crocodile.
Formidable.
Dangerous.
Propel.
Moved forward.
And trilling.
Where is trilling? Oh, flirting and trilling, making insect sounds.
Frog.
A throb in his throat is a pulsating, the beating, what we feel at the wrist of our hand, that can be seen in his throat. The heart beating, तो throb होता है ना?
And when it breathes,
No, when its heart beats.
heart beats.
What we feel in our wrist, no, that can be felt at the throat also. Tinge having a light green, exactly like your top. Your top is tinged with green. It's not really a green color top. It's not really a light green color top. It's just a tinge of green. Magar is another name for crocodile. Magarmach. That? Okay, now who is Sohan? You are Sohan. Who is Arya? Read the next page, 94.
From the day, perhaps a million years ago, when the sun had changed the sunlight, and he had broken his shell, and got his head out and looked around, ready to snap at anything before he was even fully hatched from the day. When he had at once made for the water, ready to fend for himself immediately, he had lived by his perilous craft and ferocity, escaping the birds of prey and the great carnivorous fishes that eat baby crocodiles. He had prospered catching all the food he needed and storing it till perpetuated in holes in the pan. Tepid water he lived in and plenty of rotten food grew him to his great length.
Okay. Any doubts? Putrid is when the food has become spoiled and gone sour. जिसको हम बोलते हैं बासी खाना. First write this stale food, yes. Rotten food, yes.
Tepid water.
It's not just stale because it's not like 2 days old, it's like 2 weeks old. So it's that degree of staleness.
Tepid water.
Warm water. Dangerous.
A brainless craft.
Something that is an automatic activity. He doesn't have to think before catching a prey. It almost happens without thought. Continue, Arya.
Now nothing could pierce the each trick Almond has, not even rifle bullets, which would bounce off. Only the eyes and the soft on the arms offered a place. He lived well in the river, surrounding himself sometimes with other crocodiles, converse, as well as the long snout-tailed fish-eating divers on warm rocks and sandbanks. When the sun rider came on them quite wide and where they could flop off into the water.
This word would, the L is silent. It's not pulled, it's good. It's not pulled, it's good.
Would flop off into the water in a moment if allowed.
Okay.
Flop off.
Dive into. Having a long pointed nose. The skin is so thick, it's almost like a bulletproof skin.
Flop off.
Dive. Boys, you have understood all the words. Then girls, why don't you ask the boys? They will answer. They are not asking anything. Next word.
Alarm.
Alarm. Yes, who is telling? Sohan. Alarm. Last word of the paragraph.
Frightened.
Frightened, surprised. Alia?
The big crocodiles fed mostly on fish, but also on deer and monkeys that came to drink perhaps a log or two. But sometimes here at the fort, he fed on a pie dog full of parasites or a skeleton cow. Sometimes he went down to the burning hearts and found the half-burnt bodies of Indians cast into the stream.
Okay, boys, do you want to ask any words? Pie dog is a wild dog.
Burning.
The jungle, burning ghats are where the dead bodies are burned. We are asking, but you are not writing, huh? Wait. First we ask the boys, then the girls will ask them. फटाफट पूछ लिया अभी लोग ने 2 words कि ओ मैम के का आपके girls ask us. Any more words, boys? Okay, girls, shoot.
Four.
Yes, boys. Third line. Fifth word. पूरा coordinates दे दिया मैंने. It's an area in the river.
From skeleton cow means
A very thin cow. An undernourished cow. Yes, Arya. Now you can read till the end of the
what
page.
is the name of pond?
An area in the river. An area in the water. Arya.
Beside him in the shores, as he lay waiting, glimmered a blue gem. It was not a gem, though it was a sandstone glass that had been rolling about in the river for a long time. By chance, it was perforated right through the neck of a bottle, perhaps a blue.
Yes, boys.
Shoals.
What is the shoals? Banks.
Perforated.
पहले आपने shoals को underline करके meaning लिखी है इतना fast आइंस्टाइन हुआ. Perforated you asked? Having a hole.
Sandworm glass.
Sand-bone glass means if I take a piece of glass, and it is going to be very sharp. But if I throw it in a river, then the sand will so continuously rub against the glass that it will not remain sharp anymore. It will become almost like a round pebble, like a bead. Sand-bone glass. Girls, glimmered, boys, shone, S-H-O-N-E, shining. It's not glimmering, so we'll not say that the meaning is shining. It's glimmered, so we maintain the tense and say that the meaning is shone. Anshul, page number 95 is yours.
It's in the shrill, noisy village above the pole, out of a mud house, the same color as the ground, came a little girl, a thin, starveling child, dressed in an earth-colored rag. She had torn the rag in two to make a skirt and sandal.
Okay, paragraph over. Which word boys are asking? Torn clothes. Girls, undernourished. I feel like seaweed sometimes. Like seaweed, starving. Undernourished. Any other word? Which word? A high pitched sound. Anshul.
Sylvia was eating the last of her meal. Chapati wrapped around a smear of green chili and rancid butter. And she divided it also to make it sing more and bite it, showing straight white teeth.
Boys, सार खट्टा हो जाता है ना जब से व्हाइट होता है तो
With her ebony
1
hair,
minute. Boys, any more words? Girls? Smear. So if you are having a jam toast, you have smeared your toast with jam. So she is having a chapati which has a smear of green chilies. तो जैसे कि हमने एक मिर्ची का अचार रोटी के ऊपर स्प्रेड कर दिया, smear, spread. Yes, Anshul.
with her ebony hair and great eyes and her skin of oiled brown cream. She was a happy, immature child woman, about 12 years old, barefoot, of course, and often losing hold on a winter morning and born to toil. Ebony.
Yes, boys, which word? Okay, I told Maria to come and take that fly away. Whatever honeybee or something it is. Some honeybee. 5. Baba, उड़ेगा, उड़ेगा. बेगुड़े. Why are you touching it? What if it stings you? What's wrong with you? Oh, acha. Okay, boys, any word? Ebony is brown color. Girls, any word? Woozy means, you know what? When you're feeling very, very cold, you have goosebumps. ऐसे pores पूरा hair ऐसे stand हो जाता है, goosebumps हो जाता है. So it was so cold that she had goosebumps. So that is woozy cold. Girls? Yes, boys. What story? Oh, beautiful. Anshul?
In all her life, she had never owned anything but a rag. She had never owned even one anna, not a piece, not a pie, even to buy, say, a handful of brown glass beads from their stall in the bazaar, where they were piled like stars, or one of the thin glass bangles that the man kept on a stick, and you could choose which color you would have.
Boys? A denomination of money. Icse actually it is. Girls? Piled, stacked one on top of the other. ऐसे ढेरी बनाते ना वो लोग. Anshul?
Blown,
Hmm?
blown,
You are asking a word?
that's blown.
A handful of blown glass beads. कांच बनाने के लिए, it's a beautiful video. Please watch it on YouTube. To make glass, you take sand and this and that and you mix it together. You put it in the furnace. Then you put it at the end of a tube and you blow. That's how they make it into a vase or whatever they want to make. So now this has been blown. Glass has been blown to make a bead, moti. So blown glass bead.
She knew what finery was, though. She had been with her parents and brothers all through the jungle to the little town at the railhead where there was his father. And she had walked through all the miling people and the dogs and monkeys full of fleas. The idling, gossiping, bargaining humanity, speaking bitter juice. Heard the bell of a sacred bull from king as he lumped along through the dust and uproar.
Boys? Finery means well dressed. Girls? Milling means people who work at the mill. Boys? Girls? Boys? Railway. End of the railways. Anshul? Yeah. Okay, expensive.
Not crossing. Chop some.
When a bull is wearing a bell, then when it walks, the bell makes a clonking sound. So the sound made by the moving bell.
Ma'am,
Hubbub means crowd. She knew what finery was, meaning she knew what it was to spend money and wear expensive clothes, fine dresses, like that. Right now, she is being described almost as a very, very poor girl, no, that way.
love.
Walked along slowly,
And editing.
idling, time pass.
She had paused amazed before the sweetmeat stall to gaze at the brilliant honey confections, birds with dust and flies. They smelled wonderful, above the smell of trade and humanity and cheap cigarettes. At home, she sometimes tasted wild honey or crunched the syrup out of a stalk of sugar cane. But these sweets were green and magenta.
Boys,
Confections.
sweet dishes. What you would call donuts and pastries. Girls, both of you saying two different words. He just asked, I said sweet dishes like pastries and donuts. Yeah. You're asking the meaning of sweet meat or you're telling me the meaning of confections can it be sweet meat? Mithais.
Same.
Different. Confections are pastries and donuts, sweet meats are mithais. Abuzz means full of dust and flies.
This line, they smelled wonderful above the smells of grace and humanity.
Drain is gutter. Humanity is the smell of sweat. मीनिंग घर पे वो गंडेरी गन्ना हनी शहद ये सब खाती थी बट अभी ये भी मीठा मीठा ही था बट ये ग्रीन कलर एंड पर्पल कलर का था ना तो वो ज्यादा इंटाइसिंग था मन कर रहा था उसको खाने का उस चीज को Have you ever had a purple ice cream? Have you ever had a green ice cream?
Yes.
When you saw it, you wanted to have it because of its color, na? Ah. Okay, now Sandali, 96 is yours.
There was the cloth stall, stamped with great rows of new cotton cloth, stamped at the edge with a maker's sign of a tiger's head, and smelling so wonderful of its dressing, straight from the mills, that Sibia could have stood by it all day.
Boys,
Stamp.
stand. पाँव से stand करते हो. Girls. But this stamp is not that stamp. Sorry. This stamp is when you buy a piece of cloth. Sometimes it has that golden stamp, na? Vimal Mills ऐसा कुछ लिखा होता है. That stamp. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Sandali.
But there were other wonders to see. Satin sewn with real silver thread. Tin trays from Birmingham. And a sari which had got chips of looking glass embroidered into the border. She joined the crowd round the Kashmiri traveling merchant on his way to the bungalows. He was showing dawn-colored silks that poured like cream, and he'd got a little love chest with turquoises and opals in it. Best of all, a box which, when you pressed it, a bell tinkled and a yellow woolen chicken jumped out.
Boys.
Satin
sewn means you have made thread which has satin threads in it. Almost like embroidery. Girls? Embroidered मतलब ऐसे तुम्हारे टी-शर्ट पे एम्ब्रॉयडरी किया हुआ ना पिंक कलर का क्या लिखा हुआ है छापा है कि एम्ब्रॉयडरी है? एम्ब्रॉयडरी है ना? हाँ, that is embroidery. Opals are gemstones. Boys? Any words? Okay.
There was no end to the wonders of the world, but Scythia, in all her life from birth to death, was not for her. Since she could dawdle, she had husked corn, and gathered sticks, and put dung to ground, and cook and feed it, and carry, and fetch water, and cut grass for fodder.
Boys? Girls?
Toddle.
Like a little child crawls, yeah, hardly learn to walk, that.
Fodder.
Grass eaten by cattle. Sandali?
She was going with her mother and some other women now to get paper grass from the cliffs above the river. When you had enough of it, you could take it down by bullock cart to the railhead and sell it to the agent who would often arrange for its dispatch to the paper mills. The woman often toiled all day at this work, and the agent sat on silk cushions smoking a hookah.
Boys?
Paper grass.
A type of grass. Girls? Sandali?
Such thoughts did not trouble Sylvia. However, as she skipped along with her sickle and homemade hay fork beside her mother, you could skip on the way up, but not on the way back when you ached with tiredness and there was a great load to carry.
Boys?
This last line, you could skip on the way out, but not on the way back.
So, while you're going to work, you can nicely skip and all, how girls skip and walk, But when on your way back, when you're going back home, that skipping and all is not there, you're dead beat and dead tired. Now, Tanmay.
Some of the women were wearing necklaces made out of lal beads.
Lal beads is red beads.
The shiny scarlet seeds, black one and that grew everywhere in the jungle. It was best to have new necklaces each year. Instead of last year's faded ones, and Celia was making one too. How nice it was going to be to hear that rattling swish around her neck as she crouched along with lots of necklaces.
Rattling swish is the noise made by the necklaces when they rub against each other. Crouched is skipping. So what the author means to say that if Sylvia is skipping, then those necklaces are making noise. Samjha? Yes, Vita.
But each seed, hard as stone, had to be drilled with a red hot needle, and the family needle was snapped, so she must wait till they could buy another.
Continue. Snap, broken.
Oh, for strings and strings of glass and beads, anklets, earrings, nose rings, bangles, all the gorgeous tassels of the bazaar, all her little golden body decorated.
Anklets are piles, chain worn around your legs, and gorgeous means very beautiful. Golden body because she is dark colored. Her complexion is dark.
And tassels.
Continue, Vita.
Chattering as they went.
Chattering means talking loudly. Continue.
Chattering as they went, the women followed the dusty track towards the river. On their way, they passed a Gujar encampment.
Gujjar encampment. Gujjar is the name of a tribe. Encampment means temporary settlements. Yes, beta.
Encampment of grass huts where these nomadic graziers would live for a time until their animals had perhaps finished all the easy grazing within reach, or they were not able to sell enough of their white butter and white milk in the district, or there was no one to buy the young male buffaloes for tiger meat. Or perhaps a cattle killing tiger was making a nuisance of himself, then they move on.
So there are 4 reasons why they would leave this settlement and go somewhere else and have a new settlement there. Anyone who can tell me all those 4 points?
All the tasks were finished within
Very good. 1.
and no one was taking the fellows for tiger meat.
Okay.
And the white milk and white butter produced by the animals.
Beautiful.
And there was a tiger who was
Excellent. Excellent. Continue, Bella.
Celia glanced at the Gujar woman as she went past. They wore trousers tight and wrinkled at the ankles, and in their ears large silver rings made out of metal rupees. And one of them was clinking a stick against the big brass ghadas.
Ghadas are pots, metal pots. Yes, Bella.
In which they fetched water from the river for the camp to see which ones were empty. The men and boys were out of camp just now with the herd or gone.
Herd means cattle. Okay.
Herd or gone to the bazaar to sell produce, but one or two buffaloes were standing about, creatures of great wet noses and moving jaws and gaunt black robes.
Gaunt means strong. Skinny skeleton. Oh, I'm saying it the other way around. Very thin. Clinking. What do you mean clinking? Achha, you're asking the meaning. I thought you were saying can gaunt be clinking. Making noise. When you hit a stick to the ghada, it will make a noise, not like that. Looked. Ujjwal.
The Gujars were Janglis, as Surya was too, born and bred in the forest. For countless centuries, their forebears had lived like this, getting their
Forebears means ancestors.
getting their living from animals, from grass and trees, as they scratched their food together and stored their substance in large herds and silver jewelry. They were men in the wandering pastoral age and not stone age hunters and not very cultivators.
Okay, you understood this? Stone Age cultivators. Understood or no? Yes. Yes or no? So they are telling us 3 stages. The first stage would be Stone Age. Next stage would be pastoral. Third stage would be cultivators. Cultivators were farmers. We are still that. Stone Age were people who lived in the caves. You know that. They were neither this nor this. They were in between. They were pastoral. Pastoral means they are dependent on animals. They are not really farming and growing vegetables and crops like we do today. Right? Read further.
Now there was the river, twinkling between the trees, sunlit beyond dark trunks. They could hear it rushing along. The woman came out of came out on the shore and made for the stepping stones. They had plenty to laugh and bicker about. As they approached the river in a noisy crowd, they braided up their skirts so as to jump from stone to stone.
Bicker about means argue. Girded up means tied up. Yes, beta, continue.
And they clanked their stickers and forks together over their shoulders to have ease of movement. They shouted their chorus above the rush of the river.
Anything you want to ask here? Rush means the river is flowing with a certain amount of speed. Yes, beta, continue.
Noise frightened crocodile. The big mother did not move, and all the women crossed in safety to the other bank.
So perhaps this is why these women who are going to cut the grass, they are all the time chattering and bickering with each other so that the crocodile will be kept away.
Here they had to climb a steep hillside to get at the grass, but all fell to it away and sliced away at it wherever there was foothold to be had.
Any doubts up here?
Yes.
See, there they had to climb a still hillside to get at the grass. They are almost climbing like rock climbing. But all fell to with a will. All of them did it with determination because they had to earn money. And sliced away at it, that means cut the grass, wherever there was foothold to be had. So whenever they could have some place where their foot was able to manage itself within the rocks, then they would cut the grass. Then they would move rock climbing some more, and then wherever they got a strong foothold, then they would cut the grass.
Down below them ran the broad river, pouring powerfully out from its deep narrow pools among the cold cliffs and shallows, spreading into warm shallows, lit by kingfishers, great turtles lived there, and marcies weighing more than 100 pounds.
Kingfishers are aquatic birds. Marsil is a type of fish. Yes, beta.
Crocodiles too. Sometimes you could see them lying out on those slabs of clay over there, but there were none to be seen at the moment. Where Sylvia was working, wind coming across hundreds of miles of trees cooled her sweating body, and she could look down over the river as if she were a bird, although she did not dare stop for a moment under her mother's eyes. Her imagination took her in soaring flight over the bright water and golden air to the banks where she had played as a child.
So while she is cutting the grass, although she is not able to do a lot of time pass there because her mother is continuously seeing to it that work is getting done, but at times when she looked down, the fact that she is not feeling scared. When she looked down, she could remember, oh, there near the river bank I used to play as a child. Oh, that little cave over there I used to make little bowls and pots and pans out of clay. So as a child, she was left there near the cave and her mother would climb up to cut the grass. They are doing this to earn money. Where is it? Her imagination took her in a swooping flight over the bright water. So her imagination took her to the water, but they are saying swooping flight because she's almost like a bird there and she's taking a swooping flight, visiting that memory lane and coming back. Just a way of writing literature. Prashansa, read better.
In those cavelets about
Cavelets means small caves.
In those cavelets above the high water mark of the highest flood, she had stored some little bowls molded of clay while they hardened. If there were anything that could be used for coloring, they would look fine, painted with marigold and elephants.
Marigold is a type of a flower. Yes, Peter.
Child, the sharp word, the glare of her mother's angry, sweating face pulled Celia back to work, and they toiled on. But, but at the last it was time to go back to see to their animals and the evening meal. The loaded woman set out to cross the river again. Celia hung back.
Loaded woman because now she's carrying the grass that she has cut.
She would just waddle a bit and run and see if the little clay cups were still there in the cave, waiting to be painted and used.
Any doubts up to here?
God.
Waddle means walk like a child. Meander from the correct path. What did your ma'am give?
Lazy.
Walk lazily. Okay. Yes, Vita.
Although the women were now tired and loaded, they still talked. Those in front yelled to those behind. They crossed the river safely and disappeared up the track into the trees on the other side. Even their voices died away. Silence fell. Celia came down alone to the stepping stones. The light of evening was striking up the core pink into the ultraviolet shadows. Now the sun was off it. The water poured almost invisible along the stones with no reflection to show where it began. Celia stepped onto the first stone.
So the gorge, the word gorge over here is a deep canal like. What is your ma'am given?
Deep narrow alley.
Continue.
She was heavily weighted, her muscles stretched and aching.
Aching means paining.
The hayfork squeaked in the packed dry grass and dug into her collarbone, so close under the skin. In spite of the sari bunched up to make a pad.
Okay, any doubts? Squeak means made a noise. Arav,
Not absent.
Nihali, read it up.
At the same time,
When she was.
when she was halfway over, she put her lid down on a big boulder to rest.
Boulder means a rock.
And leaned weeping on a pole. At the same moment, a bigger woman came down with two umbrellas to the water on the other side in order to get the good clear water, which would quickly fill both umbrellas to the top without sand. She walked onto the stepping stones. She was within a yard of the crocodile when he lunged at her.
Lunged means pounced. Yes, better continue.
Up out of the darkening water, heaved, what is it,
Heaved.
heaved the great reptile, water slushing off him. His livid jaws yawning, and all his teeth flashing as he slashed at her leg. The women screamed, dropped both glass pots with a clatter on the boulder, from whence great bounced to the water, and Celia saw them walk away in the current pool. The two good vessels gone.
Okay, any doubts up to here? Heaved means give out a deep breath.
Splashing,
Running off him.
livid,
Dangerous. Okay, we'll continue.
the good woman recoiled from the crocodile, but his jaws closed on her leg. At the same moment, as she slipped and fell on the bone-making stone, and clutched one of the timber logs to save herself. The log jammed between two boulders, with the women clinging to it and screaming. while the crocodile pulled on her leg, crushing his might fell bang bang, to and fro in great smacking waves as he tried to drag her feet and carry her off down into the deep of the pool. Blood spread everywhere.
Any doubts?
Especially
Hitting. He is hitting his tail on the water.
smacking.
Licking. Holding tightly.
Flames,
Which word?
flames, smacking flames.
Flails are the sides of the mouth. Okay, beta, continue.
Serious stuff. From boulder to boulder, she kept leaping like a long boat. Sometimes it had seemed difficult to cross these streams, especially the big gap in the middle where the river curves through like a bunch of grass. But now she came on wings, choosing her footing in the middle without even thinking about it. And in one moment, she was beside the shrieking river.
Shrieking means screaming. Shriya, screaming. Yes, beta, read.
In the boiling bloody water, the face of the crocodile, fastened round her leg, was tugging to and fro and smiling.
Fasten means holding tightly.
His eyes rolled on to Sibia, one slap of the tail could kill her. He struck, up shot the water 20 feet and fell like a silver chip. Again, the rock jumped under the blue. But in the daily heroism of the jungle, as common as a thorn
Daily heroism of the jungle, like for Sibia, it would be very difficult to cross the highway. But for us, it is a daily activity in the city. So, like that, she has a daily activity in the jungle. Encountering a crocodile was not a big deal for her.
Sibia did not hesitate. She aimed at the reptile's eye. With all the force of her little body, she drove the haycock at the eyes. The one prong went in, right in, while its pegs scratched fast on the horny tail.
Prongs, I told you, is one of the teeth of the hayfork.
The crocodile reared up in a convulsion.
Convulsing means almost like he's getting a fit. Because the hayfork has gone in his eye, you can imagine.
Till half his lizard body was out of the river, the tail and noise nearly meeting over his stony back. Then he crashed back, exploding the water, and in an uproar of bloody foam he disappeared. He would die, not yet, but presently, though his death will not be known for days.
Okay, children, back up. We'll continue next time. Remember till where we have done, huh?
Thank you.
Thank you, beta. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, beta. Bye. Bye, beta. Where's my say? Don't silent. Okay, it's in this.
Bye.
Good night, beta.
Yeah, this is a very moment.
Sibia. 5 minutes of the story.